You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace.
Hi, everyone. This is episode 15 of Nice-ish. I'm Grace, and I'm here with my co-host. Hi, Mom. How's it going?
I'm good. You know, we had such a great weekend. We just finished watching the Dodgers, and it got me thinking next weekend is Labor Day weekend. Grace, summer's almost over.
It's crazy. It doesn't feel like... I wish it wasn't. I love summer.
I do too.
I love the whole feel of it. Everything about summer I like. I hate that it's going to be fall. I don't like it.
I mean, I like fall, but I don't like winter. So I like having a break from super hot weather, but if I had a... I mean, we're on the East Coast, so we only have a certain amount of months where it's really nice.
And the problem is, though, is that I would like fall, like you, except we get like 2 weeks of fall.
Yeah.
It's either really hot, this nice, like, cool temperature for about 2 weeks where you could go out in just a sweatshirt, and then it's like you're in a coat.
Boom. Oh, I know. I hate wearing a coat in a car.
And then to have to wear gloves and a hat, and then you only have one pair of gloves that you really like, and then you forget them in the car, and then you're like, crap, I forgot them outside, so now they're cold.
And then you're like, Mom, the car's going to be freezing, go warm it up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I hate it.
Let's talk about why we love summer.
Okay, yeah, I know. That'll be more fun.
I mentioned we just finished watching the Dodgers. Baseball is in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I love baseball.
Yeah, no, I love watching baseball. It's awesome because there's so many games on. There's never nothing on to watch. It's great.
I know. There's like 300 games or something a season.
Uh-huh. Wait, what? 300?
Wait, no. That can't be right. That would be like 2 a day. Wait, let me look it up.
I know it's not 300, but...
Yeah, that didn't sound right.
Well, no, I mean, that doesn't make sense because usually when you get to 100 games, that's like celebrated.
AC. Oh, good point. Oh, how many games are in a season? 162.
300? Where'd you get 300 from?
I don't know. I was just bullshitting. That's so stupid. Yeah, that would literally be 2 games a day.
Right.
Because 300 is like almost a year.
Yeah, it's close. So stupid. Oh, God.
Well, aside from baseball, then it's just so nice. There's long nights where, like, it'd be 7 o'clock and you and I would want to go out and get something at Target or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's daylight.
I know. It's really nice, too, because we like playing games and stuff like that, board games, mm-hmm. and we have a porch. And so we like going out on the porch and having all of our games out there. You're able to stay out there till, like 11, 12 at night.
Because it's enclosed.
Warm. Yeah, because it's enclosed.
It's warm, but it's also enclosed so people can't hear us.
Right.
We're not disturbing anybody. We're not those people. So, yeah, it's fun to go out there. We usually have summer puzzles we do. Mm-hmm. We'll put a puzzle out there, and then whoever gets up first and goes downstairs will work on it a little bit.
At your leisure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just such a vibe.
It is. It really is.
And then there's the food. I mean, why does fruit taste better in summer than it does in the winter? Probably because it's seasonal.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I answered my own question.
Yeah. Stupid question number 2.
Stupid statement. Yeah. It wasn't a question.
Oh, yeah.
My first one, but it's just so nice. Then we're going to start hearing the bus. The kids getting on the bus. Mm-hmm. All that. School starting.
I know. I mean, the only good thing is that I learned to crochet this summer.
You did?
So everything that I'm making, like hats and stuff, I can wear. So I guess that's a good thing about
winter. You are
winter.
Working on your first winter hat.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Thanks.
And you've made... What else?
I got, as a gift from somebody for my birthday, I got a Woobles Learn to Crochet kit. And it was super fun. It turned out to be like this little cute lion, and it was so small and cute. And I was like, oh, I think I can do this. And then so I tried making a turtle after, and that came out pretty good.
That you got like off Etsy, like a pattern or something.
Yeah, I got the pattern off Etsy. And I am not normally somebody who is good at something right out of the gate, but I feel like I kind of perfected the crochet thing kind of quickly.
I've watched you. It looks really complicated and very hard.
It really isn't, though. It's just you do the same thing like over and over and over again.
I know, but that same thing looked complicated. I don't know. I had zero interest.
Well, you know what's really friggin' hard is sewing.
Yeah. You got a sewing machine for Christmas last year.
Right. And I tried to do that again because of summer vibes.
Yeah.
I wanted to, start on my crochet projects and like try starting sewing. And to sew in a straight line is so fucking hard. I swear, I don't know how people do it. Now I think when I go into clothing stores, I'm like, wow, look at that hem. Like, it's so straight.
So even though there's like a line there for you to follow, it's hard to do it?
Yes, it is hard. The line is bullshit and does nothing.
Oh. Well, if anybody out there listening who sews, any tips you can give Grace are greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I was riding the high from the crochet, like being really good at that, and then trying to get on the sewing machine and just start was,
it knocked you down.
Yeah, it was a blow to the ego, for sure.
Yeah, I've never tried those. I think I used to do needlepoint like ages and ages and ages ago, but I don't know. I think I'd rather watch TV or do nothing.
Well, you can crochet as you're watching TV.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
multitasking.
Since next weekend is Labor Day weekend, and we usually release our podcast every Monday, we thought we would postpone it one day and release it on Tuesday. That way, everybody who's enjoying their day off and spending it, whether it's friends, family, or even by yourself doing nothing, that way, then you can come back to it on Tuesday and listen. You're welcome.
We're giving you a day off. Let's talk about some Bravo news that happened with one of our favorite ex-housewives, Bethenny.
Yeah, favorite.
She posted this really, really bizarre video on her TikTok. She spontaneously decided to go to this local Hampton store called Round Swamp Farm, whose chicken salad she had been promoting on her own. And then she got mad that none of the staff recognized her or gave her any accolades for moving tens of thousands of dollars in product.
Her words.
Which is her words. Yeah, that's her words. I don't know how she knows that, but okay, you're just going to assume.
It was crazy, that video. I had heard her talk about it a couple weeks ago, but I didn't see the video until recently of her actually going with a friend and filming herself walking around the store, literally pointing her camera phone at employees, waiting for them to acknowledge her.
So Bethenny was quoted in the video as saying, "I want a big reaction," and when none of the staff acknowledged her, she said, "I'm so defeated. I think I'm going to have to cancel Round Swamp Chicken Salad."
Can you believe that? She actually said the word cancel. I'm going to have to cancel.
Yeah.
Like, you're in charge of anything, lady.
Well, and so you expect these employees to just know who you are?
And drop what they're doing and kiss your ass?
Right. Like, oh my God, it's Bethenny. Thank you. You know, I don't
know what kind of reactions she's used to, but that was the most entitled I think I've ever seen someone be on video.
And then she just posts them like she's proud of them or that she thinks she's right, which I don't understand. I don't know how you can think that you're right in this situation. Who's telling you to do this?
And it's not like they pay her.
No, right. You did this completely on your own. It's not like you're going in and you're like, I have moved tens of thousands of dollars of product and we had an agreement and you didn't give me any of my money. So I'm going and I'm going to film it and I want you to give me my money. Okay, then, know.
No, this was all voluntarily.
Right.
She liked their chicken salad, so she made a video about it and talked a lot about it. Now all of a sudden, what? Their chicken salad's not good anymore? You're going to cancel it? Girl, shut the fuck up.
She's so irritated. Yeah, she wants to cancel a business that's been around since the 70s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're doing just fine without you, okay? They've been around for a long time. They don't need you. So, because nobody kissed your ass or thanked you for doing something that nobody asked you to do. Right. Everybody's just supposed to stop what they're doing.
It was, it still shocks me.
Yeah, like, did you want a Bethenny banner hanging from hanging from the outside of the building? I think
they need to change the name of the store.
I know. Bethenny sells.
Yeah. Bethenny's.
Yeah.
We love Bethenny.
God.
Ugh, she's the worst.
She really is the worst. Well, at Chris M799 agrees with us and says,
"Yay, Chris!
One of the most insufferable people on the planet. I will never understand how she got away with this behavior for so long. I wonder if Carol ever sits back and cackles with what's happened the last few years."
Oh my God!
I know.
I co-sign. I think looking back, Carol got fucked over.
She really did. Bravo completely took the Team Bethenny train and. They were just like, bye,
Andy
Carol.
did too.
Yes.
And then what did Bethenny do? She fucked them over.
Completely, just by not showing up. Like, I'm not going to film.
Yeah. Day of filming. I changed my mind. I'm out of the season. I'm out. She's the worst.
She really
is.
The
absolute worst.
And it's really hard to see that change in her because season 1 Bethenny would hate this Bethenny.
Oh my God, you're right. She would.
Because, I mean, she was making fun of Luann in the car for being like, you want the driver to call you Mrs. De Lesseps? Are you for real? Get off your high horse.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's just no way that season 1 Bethenny would like this chick.
Well, speaking of season 1, didn't Kelly Ben-Simone do a video after?
Oh, God. Yeah. Kelly, I don't know what she's doing. We have Kelly Ben-Simone, yes, who is entering the chat here. And she posted her own video going to Round Swamp Farm, which actually they reposted on their Instagram, which is shady and funny.
Picking a side.
And she had said that she's been coming to the store since she was in her teens. And then she posts all the stuff that she bought there and things like that.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Like, clearly she saw Bethenny's video and thought it was complete shit. So she decides
to poke at her. Oh, God.
Look, I can't stand Kelly. I am 1000% Team Kelly here.
Well, the weird part, okay, not to try to, tear down her video, but I don't understand how she could say that she's been going to the store since she was a teen because I don't think she grew up in New York.
I don't know that. I saw a lot of the comments saying that she's from Illinois or something. Yeah. I don't know. I
don't think Kelly knows either.
Oh, God.
Nobody knows. Nobody really knows.
Her delusional ass can lie all she wants. I don't even care.
Nobody really knows where Kelly came from. Nobody has any idea.
What planet?
Right. Yeah. Nobody knows.
No. The whole thing was just terrible. Bethenny posts so many terrible videos, and I gotta say, I don't understand the amount of people on her comments either that just love her. I don't get it. I don't understand how you watch this video of her trashing a company for not kissing her ass and wanting basically to put them out of business.
Right.
Like, don't go there. They didn't love me when I went there, so I don't want you to go there. Are you kidding me?
It's not only this video, it's all of her stupid Chanel ones that she did, which, oh my God, it's so irritating.
Yes.
Then her TJ Maxx ones and stuff like that.
Oh, the TJ Maxx where she tried to give away used makeup and the lady wouldn't accept it. So she was going to call corporate to make them make her accept it.
Right.
Nobody wants your stupid makeup, lady. Your used makeup that you've opened.
I know. I don't.
God. Oh.
There's just so many. There's so many on this list now of stupid videos that she has made. And also, she keeps eating in all these videos, too.
I know. Chomping away at food. It's disgusting.
The only thing that I will say that we get out of it is our favorite videos by the parody.
Oh, yeah. Bravo Bitch Fest?
Yeah.
Oh, she's awesome.
Which honestly makes all of Bethenny's stupid videos worth it because there's something to look for her to parody.
There's something to look forward to. I know. Shout out to her. She's awesome.
Well, I will end this conversation with one question here for you.
Okay.
And it is, do you think that Bethenny is worse than Jill?
Oh, are you serious?
I am going to put you on the spot here. Where do you stand now? Is Jill still the worst for you?
No, she's not.
We've had a revelation.
Not currently, no.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. Bethenny has surpassed her in the awfulness. Because as thirsty as Jill is, with shit like this, I think she just kind of stays quiet, I guess. I don't know. I don't see her posting a lot.
No.
I don't see people complaining a lot. So, no. Yes, Bethenny's worse. And I will stand by that.
Okay. Wow, we've had movement.
Yeah, I can grow. So Bravo's released the trailer for season 5 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and said it was, quote, an avalanche of drama.
Ooh.
I know. Sounds good. It's going to be starting September 18th. The new season will include returning cast members Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, Angie Kay, Meredith Marks, and Whitney Rose. And then the good news for me is that OG Mary Cosby's back. She was upgraded to a full-time cast member. And everybody that listens to our podcast probably thinks that you and I tend to agree a lot of the time.
We mostly do. Yeah.
However, we finally found something that we don't quite agree on, and that would be Mary M. Cosby, who I adore.
I don't know. I still can't get over from season 1 the whole, like, her family dynamic, like how she's married to her step-grandfather. I think that... I think the problem is I feel like this show exploits her a little bit.
Okay, that's fair.
And that's kind of my problem, is that I feel like I can't get enjoyment out of her because I feel like she has all this, like, past trauma, and that's why she is the way she is. So then it makes me end up feeling bad for her. Like, I don't know if we should really be... So I don't know if I should be enjoying her. I mean, I think sometimes she's funny, and so I don't know. But at other times, I'm like, oh, geez, I don't know.
Okay, that's all very valid.
Thank you.
I think what I enjoy about her is more her interactions with the cast members and how she kind of keeps them on their toes.
Well, that's fine too. I get that because I don't necessarily care how you interact with the cast members. No offense, like, to the other women, but like, I don't care how you treat the other women.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, I was not a fan of the way she talked to the service people and that sort of thing. I get it. She can rub people the wrong way. She's very awkward in those types of situations. Mm-hmm. However, come at any cast member you want. I don't care. They all need to handle it.
Right.
I just find her really interesting. But I do agree with you that there is definitely trauma there, and I'm not a fan of exploiting that.
I mean, I don't know if this show helps her, like, get it out type deal, or if, because I remember her on Watch What Happens Live, how she's like, was that a rude thing that I said? Like, I don't even know if what I said was rude.
Right.
Like, I just...
Yeah, I get that. She doesn't seem to take social cues well and doesn't quite know how to interact socially sometimes.
Right. I mean, like, asking Heather, or just saying, like, you look inbred is like, oh my God.
I know.
Doing?
Well, when I tweeted out the trailer, we got a reply from @WellyBH, who said, looks good. Mary is participating. I love it. And I think that was a big criticism for a lot of people on Mary, was that she didn't participate.
Yes.
And so this is actually good to see. She's not going to sit in the Sprinter van eating McDonald's, although I'm frankly, I would have loved to have seen them drive to McDonald's and her order and eat her nugs. You know, but I get that point. We want housewives that interact. We don't want ones that walk away.
Right. So, no, I get the whole thing about her participating. We'll see. Maybe, I don't know. I go a bit up and down with her. I'm more on the down, but, you know.
Right.
Sometimes she has some moments, so maybe her participating, we'll see. Especially because this season we'll see her kind of fighting with Meredith.
Yeah.
Which, that kind of threw me off. I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, at one point, Meredith says, I've covered for you for 3 years. And Mary throws her out of her house.
I know.
Oh, that looks good.
No, it does look good. I don't know what caused that fracture there, but we'll see if, you know.
I don't know either, because Meredith has always had her back.
She really has. I know. Well, especially when a lot of the other women didn't.
Yeah.
I definitely think that. So to see her fight with Meredith, I have no idea why or what could have caused it, but... Again, you don't really know with Mary because you could have done something that you thought was completely normal and she gets pissed and you're like, what are you talking about?
Like insult her chairs.
Yes.
Actually, I don't think Heather was insulting her chairs. She said something like they were from like Whoville or something.
Right.
But that's not a necessarily bad thing. I don't know. Yeah. Mary's hard to navigate.
Yes. She's very hard. You don't really know like what you could say that would... maybe
set her off
or, you know, you think you're being funny, and if she does not take it that way, you are fucked. So,
yes. All right, well, they've also added 1 new housewife and 2 friends of. And the new housewife's name is Bronwyn Newport.
Ooh, we got another Bronwyn.
I know. Who would have thought? Bronwyn enters the show as a longtime friend of Lisa Barlow's. And they say she loves fashion and is noted by Bravo to have, quote, a sense of humor as sharp as the diamonds she wears. So the little bit that we saw of her in the trailer, do you have any thoughts about her?
Not too much. I mean, she seems interesting, especially if she's friends with Lisa. I could see how they were friends. Mm-hmm. I get the same vibe that I get from Lisa. So I'm not surprised that those two are friends. They kind of seem like they would be. Mm-hmm. So I think she seems interesting. She seems like she's opinionated and will speak her mind. So
which we want in a housewife.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of all you can ask for. They didn't show too much of her.
No, they showed her clash with Heather a little bit.
Yeah, but that was about it. So we'll see how the season goes, but I'm excited for her.
And then we have 2 friends of Brittany Bateman and Maylee Workman. Bateman is a Utah native and practicing Mormon. She's a real estate developer, actress, and accoladed singer. Ooh.
Like, what does that mean?
Like, she's gotten...
but what, though? Like, what accolades have you got? I'm not trying to make it sound shady. I literally just mean, like, what...
I mean, you're not Adele, Brittany. I don't know. I didn't write it.
Well, it's not an Emmy or like a Grammy, I should say. So I don't know what you're
maybe the Utah Club of Music said. Maybe they said she was awesome or something. Okay. I don't know. Uh-huh. Works for me.
Sure. Okay.
So she's also in an on-again, off-again relationship with her boyfriend. And she is introduced to the women through her friend Heather Gay, but bumps heads with a few of the ladies right from the start. So when they introduced her on social media as being a friend of, I remember this like major controversy on Instagram. And one of the accounts I follow, Mad Beefs, had said that allegedly Brittany had created a fan account of her boyfriend. It was like...
Oh, I remember this.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I can't think of his name. Do you remember his name?
I don't know his name.
No, I know, right? It was his name and then fan account. Uh-huh. And everybody's kind of like, huh? Why would this guy have a fan account? Who's a fan? Like, it would be like your boyfriend having a fan page. And
It's
people would
weird.
be like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Uh-huh.
For what purpose?
For what? Yeah.
So that from the get-go was weird. And so they had said that she created the account and then was having conversations with herself. She'd like post the fan page and then post as herself responding to the fan page.
Classic.
It's really funny, but weird. And especially, considering last season.
Well, oh my God, with Monica? That's literally, what have you not learned? Did you not watch last season how pissed the other women were? Like, this just screams, like, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing. Why are you doing this? If you're going to be on the show, the other women will call it out so fast.
It was just bizarre.
Yeah, I don't get it. I have absolutely no idea why you do
So
that.
apparently she broke up with him immediately when that surfaced. And so I'm not surprised they're on again, off again. She's like, I'm going to be on this show. And if it's the show or you, I'm picking the show. Mm-hmm. So, fan page be damned.
I don't get it. I don't get how you would have a fan page. Like, are you just like some local guy?
Yes!
Like, I don't know. You're not on like...
You're not a celebrity.
No.
You're not, oh my God, we all recognize your name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember his name, so that literally goes to show you.
I just looked it up, too. I looked it up like 20 minutes ago, and I still don't remember his name.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So that was funny.
Yeah.
I find the whole thing hilarious. And then the other newbie and friend of is Maylee Workman. She's being brought on by Whitney. And they say she has her hands full as a model, which I can see. She is stunning.
Yeah.
She has her hands full as a model with 4 young children and a husband at home. Originally from California, she was raised LDS, which is Latter-day Saints, which is Mormon. Mm-hmm. I believe it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I will just clarify that I don't know.
Oh, I
thought Latter-day Saints meant Mormon, but I probably should have looked that up. I don't know much about it. And she moved to Utah to be more involved in the church, which she ultimately decided that the faith was not for her.
Damn, you moved all the way there, too. And then you're like, it's not for me.
Yeah, right? So I checked out her Instagram. She has a lovely family.
Yeah. I saw that picture that you showed me. They were cute, of all of them.
Yes.
sitting.
Her 4 kids are extremely cute. Her husband's cute. She is tiny. I mean, there was a picture of her next to her husband, and she looked like she came up barely to his chest. But she's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. So that gives you points automatically for being a good friend of.
We like pretty people. So it's going to be a good cast, I think. I will say, for me personally, there is one gaping hole.
Yeah.
And that's Monica.
Yeah. I am shocked that Bravo was not like, we're bringing her back, sorry. Mm-hmm. Like, they did that with Vanderpump Rules and Sandoval. Everybody wanted Sandoval gone. I don't know that there was anybody, who was interested in watching him. So I don't really know and nobody wanted to film with him. So why you're letting your cast make decisions like Lisa and Heather of we're not filming with her.
Well, that came out. Monica said that on Twitter that she was told that production and Bravo wanted her back, at least to film a little bit towards the end of the season. And she said she didn't name names at first, but she did say that Meredith and Whitney were supportive of her. Mm-hmm. So without naming names, that would imply Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, and I'm sure Angie.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, if that's the case and they wouldn't film, then you know what? Call their bluff.
I know.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. I don't get it, though. I don't get how Bravo's like, we want you, but we're not going to because we're going to appease the other women. When has that ever happened? Like,
and
on
you
any of these shows?
seriously think that these women would walk away from the show?
Oh, I know. They absolutely wouldn't.
That's never gonna happen.
No.
Especially once you start getting that paycheck. Like, you will put up with anything.
Well, yeah, and you probably, not only the paycheck, but you probably, since they have other businesses, you probably start getting more business to your other businesses. So, you want to be on TV. Like, film with Monica. Like, my God. Because of how the reunion went, I would have liked to have seen Monica on this season because I don't feel really anything got resolved at the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So to see her on this season, even for a scene, whatever, I think that they should have had her.
Yes. I will say that the one point I've seen some people make in not wanting her back was the stalking stuff. Yeah. And for me, she was allegedly stalking Jen Shah. I give 0 fucks about anything that happened to Jen Shah. So is it weird? Yeah, it's a little weird. Do I care? No, I don't. Yeah. Jen Shah's a piece of shit in prison for ripping off the elderly.
Yeah.
So if she was spying on her, stalking her, whatever, I don't even care.
I know. I mean, in the grand scheme of crimes that we're talking about, Jen wins. So
I mean, there's people who have that issue. That's fine. You can keep it. I get it. It's fine. You can care. You can totally care. I just don't. So I thought, I agree with you. The reunion didn't go the way I had hoped it would go. I like Monica.
Yeah.
And I do think she could have come in a little more.
She just seemed very battered down already. Like, beaten down already.
Yeah.
Before even, like, walking in. She just seemed like she was already, like...
Like she knew it wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, like it knew, yeah. That's kind of how I felt her attitude was. Maybe if she had kind of changed it a little bit, maybe they would have gotten somewhere. Or maybe they wouldn't have. I don't know if it mattered, really.
Yeah, I think she kind of felt like no matter what I say, they're not going to hear me.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't quite say what I felt like she needed to. So
yeah,
I think blame partly rests on her as well. However, once time passes, usually people can kind of reevaluate.
Yeah.
And these women should have been able to be like, you know what? Let's see what happens. I don't know.
Well, especially on these type of shows, you have to move on.
Right.
That's what we talked about last week, about how to fix Housewives. And one of them is everybody has to move on. These are capped as seasons. Your problems should stay within the season. Mm-hmm. You go to the reunion, you fix it, or then you fix it next season if you still feel like... But we need to move on. It's a show.
Yes.
So...
And she would have entered as a friend of Mary's. If you didn't want her as a housewife, then at least bring her back as a friend of, so she can kind of re-enter the arena, come in through Mary. I think Meredith and Whitney were game to filming. And then, slowly enter her into cast trips or cast settings or something. But I don't know. I think it's kind of like 50-50 on social media. Oh. It's really not overwhelming that people want her to return that I see. I just do. But I'm usually on that side of people who want stuff nobody else does. Right. So, I'm used to it.
Oh, well, that's good. At least you're used to it.
Yeah, I am. I get it. I don't care.
No, but I'm excited for this season, though. I think it's going to be good. I really like this franchise and what it is kind of becoming. I can't believe that we're only on season 5.
I know.
I was stunned to hear that. I felt like we were at least on, like, season 8, maybe.
Yeah.
But...
I agree. I'm ready for September 18th. I'm ready for it to start. I will miss Monica, but I am excited about the trailer. I thought it was good.
I thought it was good, too.
All right, let's talk about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. The show opened with Heather, Gina, Emily, and Shannon all sitting around talking about John Jansen, our favorite subject, and how he's demanding $75,000 from Shannon. This scene really resonated with people. I think because we tend to see a lot of fights and pettiness and meanness and stuff even across the board on all the franchises,
Yeah, right.
that this scene of them all kind of rallying around Shannon was nice for people. Did you like the scene?
I thought it was a good scene. I thought that having them all there to be like, listen, we got your back against this John Jansen lawsuit situation. Exactly. And Lexi situation. That we, we're here for you and, you can talk to us about it, that type of deal. Because I think Shannon needs some people. Here's the thing. I was going to say I feel like Shannon needs people to talk to, but if she calls people all the time, then I think she does, but I don't know.
Well, there was a tweet from @PlainviewSue who said, didn't watch OC till this morning. Thought it was a really good episode. My heart broke for Shannon. John Jansen is a heartless pig.
Oh.
Like Emily said, go be happy with Alexis. Yeah. And I think Sue has a point. Like, I would agree. When are you going to just lay off and just go be happy?
Right. I mean, the only interaction that I wanted to see with Alexis and Shannon was the very first one, because we're all kind of waiting, to have them have a conversation. Yes. We do want at least one. Yeah.
But Alexis is, like, focused and zeroed in on this.
Yes.
She will defend her man no matter what. And it's like, why don't you let him do the talking? Why do you have to be his mouthpiece?
I know. I don't get it. I don't get why, for somebody who doesn't, want to be on the show or doesn't want to whatever, he likes being talked about quite a bit,
Well, she just looks ridiculous, don't you think?
I think she does, especially because they haven't been dating that long.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if they were 4 years in already and we're have to hear about him, then I could understand that. Okay, you're going to defend your relationship of 4 years. Right. I can get that. But it's so soon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a lot. She looks a bit crazy. Doesn't she?
I think that just might be her personality, though. I don't know. A little bit kooky. Well, because, literally, they were in the kitchen, and Jen asks her, do you want a Red Bull or coffee? And she goes, I don't get my period anymore. It's irregular. I get it some months, and then, other times I don't get it at all. And Jen's just looking at her I didn't even ask you
So,
about that.
Does that mean you want coffee? Yeah. I know. Well, I agree with Sue and Emily. I just think they need to move on. They said what they wanted to say. He's suing Shannon. Mm-hmm. Let your lawyers do the talking and just zip it and move on.
Yeah.
So, @Real Housewives polls asked the question on Twitter, do you think there's more than meets the eye with Shannon, John, and the Alexis drama? What do you think is on the video that Alexis mentions? And there was a response from @WallIsDown who said, apparently it shows Shannon nearly running over his daughter that night of the DUI. My thought is, why didn't you give this to the police so that extra charges could be brought? You nearly run over my daughter drinking and driving? You bet I'm giving it to the police. We did hear on the show Alexis mention John's daughter.
Yes.
And almost getting hit.
Uh-huh.
I think she mentioned it to Katie.
Yeah, it was either she mentioned it to Katie and then said it in her confessional or some type of combination of the two.
What?
I know.
That's huge.
Well,
allegedly, if that's what's on there.
Well, Alexis did say that a lot of it was very, serious when she was talking to the 4 girls the episode before.
Yeah, it would ruin Shannon's life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she keeps threatening that. God. Yeah, I'm not sure, again, to co-sign on her point of the tweet, I'm not sure if your daughter is almost hit, why you wouldn't submit that to the police, as evidence.
Yeah.
Or why are you saving it then? Because it seems very shady to have that sort of evidence and then threaten her with it. Are you going to post it? Are you not going to post it? What's the end game here? Why are you keeping it
Right. If it wasn't so that way she would get more charges against her, which, by the way, I can understand that, if you had wanted to give that to the police and say, this is what I had, and, I think her charges should be higher, fine. I don't,
Right.
I would understand that. If that was my kid.
Yes.
And you, almost hit my kid, yeah, would you do that for me?
I would. I wouldn't be with John Jansen in the first place, though. Yeah, the whole thing seems really odd.
Yeah, why are you still holding on to it? I get why you would for, again, like we said, the police.
Right.
But why is it being brought up on the show? Why is Alexis bringing it up? Are you pissed that Alexis is bringing it up? Like, if after she said that, are you like, oh my God, what are you doing? No, I told you that in confidence, and now, or are you like, oh, good, now people know about it?
I think he's a weasel, and I think he doesn't have the guts to say anything himself, so he's having Alexis do it. She's getting all the blowback.
Yeah. True.
And he might be getting some on social media, but she is definitely getting the brunt of it because she is the mouthpiece.
Right.
So, again, just let her move on.
Yeah.
Stop dragging her back into this. It's enough already.
I know. I think so, too.
Same with the conversation. Let's move on.
Okay. Yeah. It's dragging us down.
So then we go to a scene with Emily and Gina playing pickleball. And
playing is a interesting word to use. I wouldn't say playing. I would say,
standing on the court?
Yeah, standing around.
Bitching?
Yeah.
And Gina has a real problem with Emily saying that she's up Tamra's ass and competing to be the meanest bitch on the show and all this kind of stuff. I think Emily's biggest problem with it is that she said it behind her back.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Yeah, that seems to be what her point is. And I don't know if Gina's quite getting it or not.
Because Emily even said, compete. I've always been an asshole. Like, she literally said it. So I don't think she has a problem with people saying she's being mean.
Yeah.
It's that you're my friend. Why are you telling other people on the cast that I'm a bitch?
I know. It's not a good look for Gina. I don't know what you're doing there. Especially, I always think it's so funny when these women talk behind each other's backs because you know that it's all filmed. You know that they're going to see it at some point. On this show, there has to be one solid person that you are solid with that you will not talk about no matter what because you want that relationship, on the show and just in general to just stay intact.
Yeah, I thought that was Emily for Gina.
Right, I thought so too.
And Gina had a bit of a mini meltdown too because she's like, Travis is mad at me, Emily's mad at me, Heather's mad at me, Katie's mad at me. And I'm thinking, girl, if everybody's mad at you, you're the common denominator here. Right. You're the problem.
Exactly.
What are you doing that 4 people are mad at you?
I know. I'm also over the whole fight about, like, that she's mean. Like, all of these women are mean. Are you for real? Gina, you called Jen a squatter, like, 2 episodes ago.
Right?
Like, oh my God, you're mean too. So to be like, Emily, I feel like you're mean.
Right.
Really? And also, I haven't seen any change in Emily's personality from now to when we met her, really.
Well, you know what? We can add Jen to the list, too, because those were 4 people. I didn't even mention Jen. You were screaming at her to pay her bills.
Yeah.
So.
And also, the reason why Emily is being mean to Jen is because of you.
Right? She's your wingman, your wingwoman. She's sticking up for you.
And I feel like you're just selling her out,
Well, that's the reputation she's getting.
Yeah.
I mean, Emily literally said that to her. Like, you were besties with Katie, and now Heather says one thing, and now you're willing to write her off?
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of all of that. I just thought Emily's done nothing different than she's done from the very beginning. So,
and to compare her to Tamra, I don't really understand either, because it's not like she's hanging out with Tamra all the time and that, they're like her and Gina were, like Emily and Gina were. Mm-hmm. They're not like besties or anything. So I don't get where this comes from of why you're mad at Emily. at all.
I don't either. They're filming.
Yeah.
She didn't even pick Tamara's house to go to.
No, that's what I mean. You guys are all together on vacation. The 4 of you are. You're on that vacation. You're not on the other one. So, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get where Gina's going. She doesn't really have a point. I think that the whole thing with Travis is probably seeping its way into everything.
I think so, too. I think she's sad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's redoing her whole house, so...
Well, this, I feel like, just kind of validates the point that I made a little while ago about her kids wanting more space.
And maybe they went to her.
And I think they went to her and said, we want our own rooms. We want this. We want more space. And I think Gina was like, well, how can I say no to my kids? What am I supposed to do?
So I'll take the fall.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think so too. Because like...
Because don't you have to like schedule construction and stuff like that?
I mean,
like, can people just come? They moved fast.
Yes, they moved fast. So, and I can't say
the couch was still warm, and you know, with Travis when he got up,
right? And I can't say that I blame her for putting her kids first.
Yeah, no.
But you also have to take care of yourself, and if she wants to be with Travis, then you know you got to work it out. But she's saying I can't afford it.
Yeah.
So before we move on to the last scene of the episode with Shannon and Tamara at their sit-down dinner, there was this scene with Jen that really kind of made my head perk up. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh. And Reality Shiz said, Jen's ex started dating one of her friends?
I know.
I was like, whoa.
That was insane. I was not expecting that to come out of the episode. You would think that that would be the highlight of an episode, but there was so much going on that I feel like it got buried down in there a little bit. But this is insane.
Well, it was interesting because Jen said when she found out, she kind of had a meltdown and screamed at her. And I honestly don't see Jen screaming at anybody, so I had to try to picture that in my head.
Right.
Because I don't think we've ever seen her yell.
No.
But... then she said when she thought about it, she loved her friend. So if he was going to be with anyone, he would pick her. And I thought, oh my God, how gracious is that? This woman was sent from heaven.
Yeah, I know. Literally, though, I don't think any other person would have the reaction that she had. And we all should, maybe. I don't know. But... I don't know. I just think that gracious is the exact word I would use. I think that she really is a glass half full type person. She can really make a pretty good situation out of anything.
And their divorce took a while, I think.
Yeah, I think last year was when it got finalized, and it took like 4 years.
I thought, you know, if we can all just handle things the way Jen handles things,
the
world would be a better place. Oh my God.
I think Housewives needs her. If we're trying to go for the softer approach now, then you know, she's the way to do it.
I would agree. All right, let's move on to Tamra and Shannon.
The hard opposite of Jen.
Right. So they sit down, and at one point, Tamra actually asks Shannon if she's still drinking. Mm-hmm. And Shannon says yes, and that she has a 2-drink max, and that she rarely goes over it, which I guess means she does sometimes. I don't know. Whatever. And Tamara says, well, don't you think you have a drinking problem? And Shannon says, quote, I used alcohol excessively at certain dark periods of my life. If I get to a point where alcohol is an issue for me, then I absolutely will look at it. End quote.
I think my problem is that Shannon is telling us time and time again that she is not accountable for what happened. This tells me right here that you feel like you don't have a problem, which is insane because you clearly do. Now, I am not calling her an alcoholic. I want that to be clear too. But you have an issue. You have a toxic relationship to alcohol. You cannot control yourself. So I'm having a really hard time trying to feel sorry for her in this situation. I can separate the situation between John and this.
which is completely overshadowing
Yes.
the issue.
Correct. This is the issue right here. The fact that Shannon literally can say that it's not an issue, that she doesn't feel like it's an issue, we have a problem.
Well, she also confirmed that she actually snuck a drink.
Yeah.
So for me, that would mean your compulsion
Yes.
or your impulse to drink is so strong that after this happened, you were willing to take a chance and drink in front of your friends, but to try to cover it up and make it like you weren't drinking alcohol. That's the problem.
Yes.
That's the problem.
And I feel like she knows that she can't quite lie to Tamra because Tamra's been there the whole time. She knows. Tamra knows everything about her.
Yeah, Tamara said that. I've known you for 10 years. I know how you tick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to just keep harping on it. I don't think there's a person out there who thinks what she did was okay.
Right.
I just feel like she's not really... I think she's going through the motions and she's making us all think that maybe she's doing better than she really is.
I know. That's what... yeah. That's
I don't want bad for her. I don't want her to not do well. I'm not a Shannon fan, but the last thing I want is for this woman who's clearly broken in a lot of ways
Yes.
to not succeed.
Right.
Just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean I want ill for her.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to do well. I just think after such a serious accident, for you to say, if alcohol becomes an issue for me, alcohol is an issue for you.
Yes.
And for some reason, taking it off the table completely and being sober isn't in your thought process. Or she literally can't. And if she can't, then she needs professional help
Yes.
to help her with that.
Right. Unfortunately, I feel like all of this that she's saying, nobody really hears because Tamra is just so mean about it.
Yeah.
And I will say that this is a 10-year issue for Tamra. She's been there through every step with Shannon. And if Tamra feels like she's like, I need to give her, this tough love that she keeps calling, it's really not. It's not coming across that way. It's not coming across as being a friend. It comes off really as like you are coming after her.
Yeah, I agree. I had sent out a tweet that said, with the Tamara Shannon situation, being brutally honest can backfire. It reminds me of Dr. Heavenly. She was talking to a therapist and he had said, honesty without compassion is brutality. There has to be compassion in the message when it's delivered. So that really speaks to what you're saying. Tamara's really coming off mean. There's no compassion. There's no anything. And while I can understand being frustrated, you completely lose the listener. You lose the fans. You lose everybody when you don't have kindness or compassion in your message.
Yeah.
And I got a response from @AChesser787 who said, yes, this is spot on. If Tamara had shown some empathy while also holding her accountable, that would have been great to see. But this attitude she has comes off as she's better than Shannon, which she isn't. I agree. There's no empathy. There's no compassion. There's no any of that because she's frustrated. But that doesn't matter. You're losing people.
Right. And I don't necessarily disagree with what she's saying either.
Right.
I do think that Shannon needs to go and get some help on her own.
Right.
Even though that wasn't necessarily court ordered, you need to go. I am telling you, as your friend, you need to go and do this. You're not listening to me. And you just lose all of that when you're just yell at her
And
like
take
that.
shots, like low blow shots.
Yeah. I don't think it's quite fair, though, for Shannon to bring up anything about Tamra's drinking, though.
Okay, why is that?
Shannon is in a legal issue here. Tamra has not driven drunk. She doesn't have any arrests for being, publicly intoxicated, anything like that. So she's not doing it all the time. She's not using alcohol as a coping mechanism. You're using it on the show to,
to party.
Yeah, and that's about it. That's as far as it goes. Shannon's is way, way deeper. We're talking about you right now. Don't try to take the heat off of you to bring it on to her, or just anybody in general.
I think that's the key, that she has said she's used it as a coping mechanism. And that's where I start to worry.
Yeah.
All her girls are gone now. They're all off to college. She's by herself. Her relationship kind of blew up. And now she has to film with the woman. Mm-hmm. So she's taken a lot of hits. Many self-induced.
Yeah.
But still, a woman can only take so much. So I think if Tamara had come in a little lighter, I don't know, maybe Shannon would have been more receptive.
That's true. I mean, maybe she would. Although at the very end, I actually thought the end of the conversation went well. I mean, Tamara's like, I'm throwing a party. I want you and Vicky.
Yeah, so the way it ended gave us like this sliver of hope that maybe they'd, reconcile or something. I mean, the way Shannon hugged her.
Yeah.
She's sad.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tamara's sad. Do you get the feeling that she misses Shannon desperately and all that? Or do you think she's just angry and can't show that? Because Shannon looks sad to me. Tamara just looks done.
Which, even if Tamara was done, I don't blame her. But I don't know if Tamara would feel the same if she did get some help type deal. Like if she's like, okay, good, I see you making some changes here and I am happy that you're doing that and I want the best for you and now I think we're good. I don't know. So I think Tamara's like a we'll wait and see type deal. Like right now we're okay and I'll try to, I'll invite you guys to my party, that type of deal.
I don't know if this relationship has been all that genuine since the very first time they were friends. Mm-hmm. It just seems like they keep coming back together when one films or the other or something. So I don't know. We'll see.
Let's jump into our Married to Medicine rewatch. We are on the season finale.
Hooray!
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. For season 1?
Yeah.
Stellar.
Mm-hmm. So the season finale starts with Mariah and Aiden, and they're talking, and he feels like Duncan's apology to him was just Duncan going through the motions and doesn't think it was from the heart.
Count to 10.
I know. Seriously. Because I don't really know what they want. Like, either of them.
I don't know either.
I really can't figure it out because you can literally go back and watch all of these moments that have happened. Like, he did apologize to you. What wasn't from the heart? Same with Toya. What wasn't from the heart? Why are you, why are you still mad?
Why does Duncan need to apologize for anything?
Well, that's also the number one, too. Yeah, what are you apologizing for?
I mean, all this shit happened at Duncan's house.
I know, that you were a part of. You were part of the problem. You were half the problem. And yet he's apologizing to you.
Which normally the reply to that would be, thank you. I accept your apology, but I would like to also apologize for my part or my wife's part in this.
Right.
I never meant to disrespect your home. Okay.
That's it. Right.
Well, great.
I know.
Men get over shit so quickly.
Except Aiden, apparently.
But it's just bizarre.
It is. I don't understand it. But let's move on because I feel like I could...
Well, we can move on.
So Mariah's planning a Bangladeshi dinner, and she wants all the women there. She invites Toya and Carrie. She kind of just wants this to be like an olive branch of a dinner, and they can all talk.
Yeah, I think she wants to look like the bigger person here by inviting them. But we haven't gotten to the part where she literally had torn them to pieces before.
Right, I know. Yeah. She had literally at the party, at Jackie's party, she was making fun of Carrie.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to the conversation that Toya has with Quad later in the episode. And it's like, you really thought they were going to come?
Yeah. And then
what are you
shocked.
talking about? Next, we see Carrie throwing a business party for Duncan and Atlas Orthopedics. And it's the opening of their new building. Mariah and Quad were not invited to this.
No, I'm not really surprised. I think Carrie thought they had moved on. And then her last interaction with them, they both kept taking jabs at her again.
Yeah, and I don't think
she's
she
like,
could figure out why.
Where am I with them then? Are we not good? It doesn't sound like we're good. Then the hell with it.
Right. So Carrie surprises Duncan with a 10-day vacation to Paris, and he is super excited.
It was so sweet. She had this slideshow presented, and she's like, I have a surprise. And he's like, oh, God, what?
Yeah.
He was a little nervous, but he was genuinely excited.
Yeah, he did. He seemed, very, very excited.
He seems like he works very hard. So I think, she knows his schedule. She's the literal office manager.
Yeah.
So I think, she knows when to take a break and to schedule that. So I thought that was cool.
Well, Simone is one of the people who was invited to this party. And Simone mentions to Carrie that she got a call from Mariah, that Mariah got an email at 5 a.m. from Carrie stating that the party for Duncan's business wasn't for all the ladies. And Quad is also confused because she said she's never done anything to Carrie.
What?
I just don't know if they remember. Like, you guys are taking jabs left and right here, too. I'm not saying that Toya and Carrie don't, but I'm just saying you guys...
Maybe they think the jabs are just in fun, so that,
But you're actually mad at her, though.
And they would hurt my feelings, the jabs that they take.
Yeah.
They're pretty mean.
Right.
But I don't know if they think it's nothing, so they're like, what? What did I do?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that clip of Ramona and Tinsley where Ramona's like, you wear too much makeup. It makes you look old. And Tinsley's like, what? Why would you say that? I look young for my age. You look old for your age. And that's a fact. And Tinsley's like, you're a bitch. And Ramona.
Yeah. What did I say that was so mean?
It's like, what?
What?
And that's like Quad. She's like, says all this shit about Carrie. And then she's like shocked.
I know.
That it hurts her feelings.
Like nothing. I think the word nothing is where I get hung up on, is because you might have felt like you did less than Carrie. Like you feel like she's been more mean to you than, you have to her. That's fine. You can think that. But to say that you've done absolutely nothing is just kind of a bit of a reach here.
Yeah.
She
needs one of those delusional signs she was holding up at the reunion, because that's just not accurate.
Yeah, it's not. Then we cut to Mariah, who thinks that Carrie is using her connections when Duncan is celebrating his 20th year in business. I don't really know, because out of 20 years, I'm sure you've networked by yourself. I don't think that they needed you to, connect you with people.
He hasn't known you for 20 years.
No. Actually, 3.
I was just going to say, I think Mariah had said she'd known Carrie for 3 years. Maybe Duncan and Aiden knew each other longer in the medical field, but to insinuate that Duncan somehow needed your husband to have any sort of success or connections is just flat out wrong.
Well, and she accuses Toya of the same thing. When Eugene and Aiden do they do the exact same job. They are both ER doctors.
Yeah.
You can't just act like you are the one that does everything for everybody and everybody owes you something. And it's like, this is how I get treated and I did all this for you. Like, no, you're just taking credit for
everybody's success.
Right.
And frankly, that's what networking is anyway.
Oh my gosh, doctors network probably all the time.
Yeah. Okay, I specialize in this, but if you need someone for this, this is who I think you should go to.
Referrals are probably
oh my God,
insane, yeah.
So it really bothers me how she wants to take credit for everything and everyone.
Uh-huh.
It's not cool.
No, that's why I'm remembering how I was not quite a fan of hers here. And it's kind of all coming back. But after that party's over, and then we end up going to see Toya and Quad meet for lunch.
Oof.
And Quad says her problem with Toya is that Toya is sharing Gregory's text messages about calling off their wedding 5 months after it happened.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like Toya.
Here's the problem I have, though. Why are you not mad at Gregory?
Right.
Why are you mad at Toya? Toya can talk. You can talk about it as long as you want. It happened.
Right.
You know, it's not like it didn't happen. It did. So she's basically like, the fact that you would marry him is absurd.
Yes, she's not making anything up. It's all there in text.
Right. So I don't know. I think Quad is probably a little bit embarrassed, and that's why she kind of wants Toya to, you know, shut up about it. Like, we're married now.
I get it.
Yeah, let it go type deal. So Quad says, I don't share your business that you were drunk driving and had a hit and run. And Toya's just like, what? What are you talking about? She completely freaks out, and she's like, that is an absolute lie. She says that she fell asleep at a light and bumped the car in front of her. She was still breastfeeding, but she was not drinking at all. So,
I mean, there's a huge difference there in their stories. So, gosh, to make that up?
Yeah, I know.
That it was a hit and run? I believe she even said that she exchanged information with the driver.
She said that too. So Toya ends up leaving, and she calls Eugene and tells him what happened. And Eugene's literally laughing.
Yeah, he thought it was funny.
Because like, this is so stupid. But Toya's just really pissed. So she's like, no, take this seriously, man.
Right.
This lady's saying this, and, you know, you're laughing.
Yes. Yeah, she was mad at him too.
Yeah. So Quad calls Mariah after their lunch and says that it's karma that Toya's business is coming out. Which, I don't really think that that's how karma works when you're the one who's delivering the information. It's not like, oh, it's karma, somebody else got you, and, you know, like, you did the, you know.
No, you're karma.
You are.
Karma's name is Mariah Huck.
And Quad Webb, yes. Those are the two. Exactly, yeah. Like, no, you came ready to present the information. That's not what karma is. That's just, like, you trying to get back at her, which is fine.
Yeah,
but,
that's not the universe. That's you.
Yeah, it's you.
That's funny.
Mariah's Bangladeshi dinner is tonight. Toya called and canceled. And then Carrie calls Mariah to cancel, but Mariah knows why she's calling, so she just declines the call. And is like, I don't want to hear her tell me that she's not coming.
Yeah.
So she's like, forget it.
And she seems surprised. That's the funniest part of all this.
Yeah. Is that you're genuinely surprised, or you don't think that there's any issue. That's the same thing, like, that's why I know why Quad and Mariah are such good friends here, because they both share the same delusion, I guess, that they've done nothing to anybody ever.
Well, then we hear Toya and Carrie spending the evening together, and Toya literally says that she told Mariah what happened. She told her that she fell asleep in the car and bumped the car in front of her. So now we know it was Mariah that told Quad, and Quad just kind of changed the story.
Either Quad changed the story or Mariah changed the story.
Oh.
I'm not sure who, because Mariah has a tendency to not get her facts right of, you know,
so it's
storytelling.
And then you're surprised that they don't come.
Yeah.
After all that, you're surprised they're declining.
Well, and Mariah had said too, she's like, I think I should still be mad at them. So you're still mad at them then. Like, you thought you had gotten over it. They don't know nobody knows where they are with you.
No.
It's just confusing. So they're like, forget it. We're not going. So yeah, we have Toya and Carrie who are together, and then we have the other women who are at Mariah's Bangladeshi dinner. Mm-hmm. And Simone says that she can't understand why the women can't work things out. And Quad says everyone was invited to this event, even though hours before she pretty much just, you know, went into Toya about the story with the hit and run. So
yeah, I don't really know if they just invited Toya and Carrie because they wanted them to decline, but they wanted to look like the bigger people here. Like, oh, we invited them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're fine. We've moved on.
Yeah, it's them.
But you just attacked them. So, like, why would they go?
I know. I don't really get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm kind of with Simone here on this.
Yeah,
like,
I am too.
Move on. So Mariah tells Simone that she's just done with both women. And then Simone says what continues to baffle her is that Mariah can't move forward with the women with some level of forgiveness and healing. And then Mariah says that she wishes the women had come because it would have been a last supper with the group. Implying that, you know, some people aren't going to be here next season, or...
Like, to start making casting decisions as a producer of the show while you're filming is insane.
Yeah.
And also, is it for the good of the show, or is it for your own benefit?
Right.
That these women don't return?
Well, I'm wondering also, I don't think we have this on any other show, or maybe we do, and I just am not aware of it. But Mariah is a producer on this show as well as on the show. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if that can cause a little bit of, like, I don't know.
Ego?
Yeah. Or, like, just the fact that I'm the one that she's the one that created it. So the fact that she's a producer, she feels like she has a little bit more say in who's on. And I don't know if that's true or not, but...
I think... She definitely thinks that. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I mean, as a producer, I imagine you do get some say. Mm-hmm. But there's no reason why Carrie or Toya shouldn't come back.
Right.
You know, there's nothing that... If anything, Toya and Mariah are the ones that had this physical...
Yes.
fight. So Mariah should be on the chopping block too.
I know, right from the get-go, yeah.
So I'm not really sure what she's thinking, implying that, you know, she's just going to cut women that she doesn't get along with. Mm-hmm. That doesn't fly.
No, it doesn't. Then back at Toya's, Carrie tells Toya that Mariah told her Quad has a record. Did we get that?
Yeah, right. Say it again, slow.
Carrie tells Toya that Mariah told her that Quad has a record. Toya Googles it and finds Quad's mugshot for aggravated assault on Gregory.
So what I get from this is that all the information on everything that everybody has comes from Mariah.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Because Mariah tells Carrie stuff about Quad, who's her best friend, by the way. Mm-hmm. She tells stuff about Toya to Quad. Quad gets stuff told about her.
Yeah.
Like, everything that Carrie, Toya, and Quad know all come from Mariah.
Right.
So she's the problem.
100%. And she likes to think of herself as the nucleus, and you are. But you're also the nucleus of information, so everything comes back to you. If you want to take the responsibility of being the person who's in the middle and who's the center, that's fine. Take it.
But she should also want to be trying to bring people together, not fracturing every single friendship in the group.
I don't think she knows she's doing it, though. I think I genuinely don't know what she thinks she's doing. I think she just likes to talk about people, which is fine. I love to talk about people. Mm-hmm. So I get it, but I don't think that... I don't know. I don't think that she realizes that it's really going to come back to bite her in the ass. But yeah, so they find Quad's mugshot, though, for the aggravated assault.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing that happened before the wedding, correct?
Yes. Yeah. That happened before the wedding. And then Mariah's the one who knew.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not surprising that it came from her because she knew, but it's surprising that she would have told anybody, considering... her friendship with Quad was intact and good.
Yeah.
So you're sharing this about your friend.
I know.
Not your frenemy and not your enemy. Your friend.
Yes. Yeah, not great. Then we go back to Mariah's, and she kind of tells this weird, like, story, fable type deal about a snake. It's just very dramatic. It's like, okay, you know?
Well, like, she finds a snake outside. The snake is dying. She brings it in and treats it and gets it back to life. And then the snake bites her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Why did you bite me, snake?" And the snake's like, "Because I'm a snake. And that's what snakes do. They bite people. So it's on you because you should have known." So she wants to, and so she's implying that Toya and Carrie are snakes. It's her fault that she brought them back in.
Yeah.
But now she's cutting them loose.
Mm-hmm. So this basically is how we're going to end the season here, because all the women think that the friendships are just kind of permanently broken, and Quad says that it would take an act of Christ to repair these friendships.
Well, to quote Jackie, Christ would come down off the cross because of you people. So I don't think Christ is going to get involved.
Forget you people.
It's nothing's permanently broken, especially in Bravo land. We know that on all of these types of shows, you have to fix things or you're gone.
Right.
So
exactly.
No friendship is over. You can be fake friends.
Yeah.
But, you got to do something.
No, so we'll see at the reunion here then how everything kind of comes together, if they end up, with some resolution here between everybody, or if we just end with more fighting.
Yeah. And speaking of the reunion, we are going to watch parts 1 and 2 together and then cover it all in the next podcast. So everybody who's watching along with us, make sure you watch part 1 and part 2. Mm-hmm. We don't want to wait.
No.
Thanks for listening to episode 15 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nice-ish Podcast or Love Cindy C. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.